will be there. If you want the Bo Fiat team to visit your joint, just kindly call 0544 113 131 113 131. Easy does it. And Bofi is brought to you by Amalina Children's Haven, the Lodge Tavern, and Extra All Mineral Water. There'll be some celebrities who pass through as well, and it's powered by 101 Pokwa 101 concept as well. Now, we are all big football fans, but there are some other sports that you can be a big fan of, like tennis and basketball. And luckily, Betway mobile and online sports betting is introduced casino games, bet games, and more on their platform for us to bet on. So from football to roulette to esports and horse racing, now you can bet, win, and get paid instantly via mobile money or EFT to your bank. Betway.com.gh is the site to visit to play today. Remember to bet responsibly. No under 18. Betway, for the love of the game, regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. And also, some moments add so much fun to your life that we wish they never end. And that's why you can carry these fun moments everywhere you go, because with Bell Chapman it makes it possible. When you go out on your Friday night and you enjoy your Chapman cocktails and mocktails, well, guess what? Bell Chapman has introduced that takeaway pack, which comes in 350 and 500 ml bottles. So you can carry the fun indoors this Christmas with Bell Chapman and enjoy a perfect blend of blackcurrant, lemon, and vitamins as you unwind after a hard day's work. And for the sake, the sugar content is also very, very low. Bell Chapman non-alcoholic cocktails comes in a pack of 16 bottles. It's enough to share with your friends this festive season. And yes, again, my Giza will be jamming at Joe Beck City Pub. That's Akunanes Pub. It's inside Teshinungwa. And they are open 247. He'll be there this weekend, Saturday and Sunday as well. He's jamming there with some good live band music. If you want more info, call 0244 549853 or 0244 549853 or 05562 521. Now, I've got James Abuaje on the line as well. He's the president of Film Producers Association of Ghana. I'm going to be talking to him right now. Now we've gone into the next 4 years with President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and the MPP government in power. Now, for us in the creative arts sector, we are looking out for our space and our expectations. And I'm going to be talking to various, associations and groups, all in the creative arts space, as we discuss their expectations in the next 4 years. I've got James on the line. Good morning, James.
Good morning, Jay.
Yes, good morning, sir. How are you doing?
Oh, by His grace, I'm doing well, and you?
I'm fine. Now, this morning, someone shared a tweet and said that anytime we mention creative arts, we're always thinking of the actors and the actresses, and then only the musicians, and we leave out sculpture, painting, and all that, which is a fair point. But let's get very selfish with your association and your area, and let's talk a bit about what your expectations are for the next 4 years with the MPP government.
The line is breaking. Let me find a better place.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, great. So I'm asking about, now, so EC has declared the MPP as the winner for the election. That is President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And now we are asking about your expectations with regards to creative arts space in the next 4 years from the sitting government.
Okay, Jay, let me wish you a very good morning, the crew and everybody and the listeners. Well, my first expectation is the Creative Arts Bill should be passed and the LI should come immediately. Then secondly, now we have the Film Authority, we have the Film Act, but the LI is not ready. So I'm expecting that within the shortest possible of time, the LI to be ready. Then thirdly, NFA should be resolved, and they have to be given a proper office, because as we speak, they are not yet accommodated. So we are expecting that that one will be sorted out.
Okay, please go ahead.
Okay. No, you ask your question.
So, no, I was going to ask that. So, when these things are done and facilitated, what will happen then?
Yeah, you see, for instance, in the film industry, we are now putting structures in place. Things that are supposed to be done about 50 years ago, we are now putting all those things in place. But if you do not have office where stakeholders can easily congregate, if I have an issue, where do I go? So if all these things are done for us, I think it will be easier for us to assemble and take a decision, whatever we want to do. That is why I'm talking about. If the NFA will be properly housed, it will help us.
So,
Then,
yeah, please continue.
Then, looking at the current available statistics and research findings, it looks like the only industry that can, going into the future, can guarantee jobs is the creative industry. Therefore, you and I are aware of the artificial intelligence and the fourth industrial revolution. The robots are taking over jobs from human beings. But what you are doing in your presentation this morning, there's no way any robot can do that. There's no way any software can do that. So research has shown that the only industry that can guarantee jobs for human beings is the creative industry. So going into the future, I want to see what the government and Ghana as a state, how we are looking at the creative industry. You see, all these television stations, radio stations, a whole lot of people depend on the creative industry. Those who are distributing devices, decoder, radio, whatever, they are all dependent on the creative industry. But it looks as if in our country, we don't look at the creative as a business, a viable business avenue, where if properly developed, can employ millions and millions of Ghanaians. So going into the future, that is the next 4 years, I want the government to be very, very serious, take a critical look at the creative industry and cut a very formidable path for the future.
As you're fighting for this to happen, what had been going on in the past 4 years then?
Well, in the past 4 years, the NFA has been established. We have the Pseudo Creative Arts Council. The council is, as we speak this week, my information is that the bill will pass through the final stage in Parliament, or it is being spearheaded by the council, or the council is part of it, because it is the body that is governing all the creative people to go to Parliament. When the Parliamentary Select Committee wanted to meet us to have discussions with us, the council did that. So the council is doing well. Now we want it to be, if you go through the bill now, it is an agency that is going to be established. Whether agency, and some have proposed authority, whether agency or authority, they are doing what they are supposed to do. And now there is creative arts, SH has been under construction in Kumasi at Adaso.
Yes.
And that one too is, I think, is a good project. Then the theaters, as we speak, the very few that we have, the film theaters and the other theaters for stage performances are shut down. So we want them to be opened as soon as possible, because our industry is dying. And the promise, I think about, let me say, a couple of months ago, the Creative Arts Minister was in Kumasi, Golden Bean to be precise, to do exhibition of the conceptual design of the theater they want to build in Kumasi. Yes, we all looked at it. It was beautiful. We want it to be established. So, and the film village, yes, steps have been taken. We have 3 locations now. They have a team has visited the place. So I think, in a nutshell,
yes,
something has been done. But we want some of these things to be concretized as we progress into the future.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, James, thank you so very much. This is a tall list of expectations, and let's look at the 4 years and see how all these things will come to pass as well. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate your time with us this morning as well. Well, James is the president of Film Producers Association of Ghana. I also have on the line our very own Daddy Bosco, director of communications and special projects of the musicians Union of Ghana. That's Musica. Daddy Bosco, good morning.
Hi, morning, Jay.
Yes, sorry to keep you on the line for a long time, but anyway, it's good you're here with us. So 4 years, MPP government still retains power still retains power, and we find ourselves in the creative industry and the space. I want to find out from you what your expectations will be.
Thank you, Foley. Good morning. The key thing is that a lot hinges on the creative industries agency. And like the previous speaker was saying, so for me, my key expectation is that now that the bill is most likely to be passed, we're expecting that over the next 4 years, we will see the actualization of the agency where they will act as an interface between industry and government. Because there's no saying that the industry needs a lot of financial support. And this can be channeled through the creative industries agency if it's functional. So for me, one of the first things I like to see is the actualization of that agency so that the agency has legs, it has a body, it has the resources to set up the required fund. And a lot of times people talk about what can be done for the musician. The musician needs infrastructure. The musician needs equipment to practice, and the musician needs education. So we'll expect that the creative industries agency will be in a position to champion these aspirations.
Let me ask. So when we talk of all these facilities, to be established, we are hoping that the government will establish these things. It still boils down to the question I was asking my panel yesterday that. So there are so many musicians churning out day in, day out. They are doing their own productions, and these productions are, some are going viral, and, they are becoming popular mainstream artists. Do you think that they really need access to facilities to make any difference?
That's a brilliant question. If you look at the industry, you have various strata of musicians and performers. So for each strata, a tailor-made approach has to be adapted. So if you look at the industry, realize in Ghana, you can say it's sort of apex, where you have a huge mass at the base, a huge mass of what we call the underground, those guys and all that. Then you come to the middle strata, those guys who had a hit or so here and there. And then you get to the apex, the established brands, the Sarkodie's, the Wallis and things. Each strata of the industry will require a different kind of support. For instance, throw back to Nigeria a couple of years ago, the state supported the work of lights of Two-Face India, the P Square and things like that. So for each level, you can take the top, 5, 10 or so, sit down with them and look at how you could get their brands to go global. Then the middle strata, what kind of support do they need? Then the underground. There should be grants allowing these underground artists to also ply their trade. I've been having this conversation with Bessa about the need to set up grant-making facilities. You see, when you go to the UK, the Arts Council plays a principal role in ensuring that the music of the UK is still kept alive. What are we doing about highlights? What kind of institutional support can we give so that these young guys find attractive? Currently, any kid, I was listening to a kid you were talking to earlier, Ernie, he plays hip-hop and Afrobeat, where it's the highlight. For him, it's not attractive. But a kid like that knows that, look, there is a possibility of getting support to do some real good high life albums. They will go for it. So, Jay, like you said, it's not a one size, what you call it, for everybody. No, it has to be multifaceted. So for the big boys, what kind of support is state giving them? so that when Sarkodie walks up to the BET, he just doesn't throw in a line about the year of the return, but he feels obligated because his access state support to even leverage his status better. Then you come to the Kwame Zagis and those guys who are trying to do highlights and all those things. What kind of support are you giving them? Then for the kids who are like the Air News and all these guys there, what kind of educational support are you giving them? What kind of grant support are you giving them? These are things that will make the next 4 years pretty exciting for the industry.
I think you've just excited me very much with the things and the explanation that you've given. Basically seeing, not underestimating or any career or any craft. We shouldn't think that music is not something but it's a big deal. So once we give it that attention, we should be able to promote, push, and get even create jobs like what James had said earlier on.
Right. That's right.
Thank you so very much. Really appreciate your time with us this morning on the show.
Pleasure, Jay.
Yeah. Let me get reaction in the studio. I've got Mr. Logic and Kumi here as well. Let me start off with you, Kumi.
Yeah. Good morning.
Yes. Good morning once
I hope
again.
you are doing well.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and good morning to everybody too. Yeah, this is a nice topic. It's a nice topic because to whom much is given, much is expected. But I don't expect much from government. Yeah, because I always say this, and it looks as if some people believe that I've been repeating it, and I have to repeat it because I want it to simmer down to our people. Now, every government comes with an expectation from the people based on the promises you give. Let's look at some of the promises the president gave. Free senior high school is operational. They are building schools to ensure that the double track system is abrogated. One district, one factory, they are still building. Some have started, some are in the process, some are yet to be started. One village, one dam. They are building some of the dams. Some are under construction. Some have been built. Some are yet to be built. You talk of building over 80 hospitals across the country to ensure that healthcare, is positioned very well so that if you're a Ghanaian, you can have quality healthcare. You are talking about building or construction of roads so that we can have good transportation system, good roads. So when you are traveling, let's say from here to the cocoa growing areas, you know that you can go smoothly and come back smoothly. You finish with what
let me get Bill Asamoah on the line now. Good morning, Bill, chairman of Ghana Actors Guild Ashanti region. How are you doing, sir?
I'm blessed, Jeffrey. How are you doing too?
Great this morning here. Now, for where you sit right in the heart of a very, very sensitive, I don't want to say area or career, which deals with one of the dying areas in our creative, space. When we talk about movie actors and their welfare. And I'm very sure because of that, you would have huge expectations from government in the next 4 years. I want to find out from you what some of the things that you are expecting to be done, with regards to your area.
Well, fully thank you, but I'll beg to differ with your choices of words, as in the dying and then the industry dying and all that. I would rather prefer you use challenges. We're facing challenges as in terms of distribution and marketing of our movies, because the industry is still thriving. As I speak with you, I'm on my way to location shooting a new movie. To answer your question, I would say to God be the glory for smooth elections, and then moving forward, congratulate the government elect, as in the NPP government that has been elected. Jay, if you ask me, I would say that as an industry player, all that I need, or talking about the industry from Ashanti region, all that we are looking at is the government helping with the structures that has been put in place in terms of the NFA, resourcing them, passing the LI for us, and then making them vibrant enough to handle the industry for us. Because whatever it is that will make our industry thrive has to do with the NFA, that is the National Film Authority, because they are the mother body of the film industry, and then they would handle the structures. And if everything is put in place, they'll be able to work and then help the industry thrive. So what I'm expecting the government to do is to not, as a matter of fact, to recognize the NFA, but help build the structures strongly for us so that the industry will thrive.
In the absence of, past governments doing some of these things, what has the Ghana Actors Guild, been doing in all these years?
Ghana Actors Guild, as an association of professional actors, we would only help with our bit, as in doing what is right as actors, and then also collaborating with institutions that would help the industry grow. We are doing our bit as actors, making sure that if the structures are there, we would do as we are required as actors to make sure that we, kind of propagate the stuff that the government intends doing in terms of policies that the government wants us to help propagate, so that Ghanaians would appreciate whatever it is that we are doing, as in informing, entertaining, and educating them. We are doing our bit. But we need the government to help with structures like the theaters, help us with applications like Netflix. There are already some applications in the system that we think the government can help make it strong enough so that every single producer can drop his or her movie on that particular platform, so that every Ghanaian or anybody who wants to watch our movies can also access it. Because the major difficulty we are having as an industry is how to market and how to distribute our stuff.
Are there any conversations around private, entities or shared proposals with certain, other means of funding aside government?
Oh yes, there are quite a number of them, and that has to do with the Film Producers Association. I know they've been in talk with the GTA that is supporting them with some funds. They've been in talks with some private entities that they are trying to woo into the system. Our challenges had to do with earlier we having businessmen who only came to make profits in the industry. So when they realized that there were challenges that marketing and distribution was going down in terms of the CD sale, they quickly pulled out their monies and then looked elsewhere. But we are looking for people or business or entities that understand, or entities that have the film industry at heart, who can be with us for long, be it rain or sunshine, so that the industry would be. That is how come we are so much on the neck of government to understand that it is the industry that will help sell his policies and other things as a country, because that is the most cheapest way of selling Ghana to the rest of the world. You understand? So we are in talks, and then the other institutions are also in talks with financial institutions to help with soft loans and all that. So if you ask me, we are
work in progress.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so very much, Bill. We really appreciate your time with us this morning, and we're looking forward to this turning into fruition, so that we'll all get benefits of the fruit of our labor. But thank you so very much.
Most welcome, my brother.
Yes.
Thank you too.
All right. So let me come back to you in the studio here now.
Yeah. My brother is done and gone. I don't want us to go into our problems. Today we're looking at solutions, because the last time I checked, even in Kumasi, people don't go for.
I was going to
Actors
ask
Guild
about
meetings and all these things. And according to some few industry players I spoke to, the guild itself is paralyzed. So my brother, look sharp. Yeah.
But musicians have, they haven't done everything, but they've tried to, at least without government intervention and all these things, they've tried to make their industry, at least a bit vibrant.
Do you know the difference between music and acting?
Let's break it down.
Music is an individual journey that they are pursuing. Sarkodie is pursuing his own dreams and journey. Stonebwoy is doing his own thing. Shatawale is doing his own thing. Kwame Eugene and his camp, Kiddy and their camp, the Kelvin Boys and all these things. So in music, one person can decide to pursue on a solo journey. But in acting, you need to work together. So when it comes to music, Mr. Logic can say that, okay, I'm a musician. If nobody is helping me, I can go and play football or go and do any job, get money, go to the studio, record, and find some money and invest into promotion. If I hit, I hit. You make it. But when it comes to acting, no individual can do that. You and I know. So that is the difference. So comparing...
As in, is it because it's more difficult to produce a movie than a song? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not talking about... I'm talking about the structure. Producing a movie, you need a team. You need a team of cameramen. You need sound. You need light. You need your actors. You need your director.
Okay, yeah, I get you.
And after everything. But one person can go to the studio, pay the engineer, and record. At the end of the day, you have the product. But having the product as in a movie is different. It's entirely different. It goes through a whole lot of... Yeah, so that makes it a bit difficult as compared to music. So you can have the musician who is making it in the system because he's pursuing a solo project. But it is difficult to have an individual say, I'm an actor and I'm making it, because unless maybe you are a stand-up comedian. Apart from that, you cannot make it alone. I'm yet to see a movie in Ghana that has only one cast. And even with that, will you be your own cameraman? Will you be your own lights person? You know, so it's a different thing altogether. Then I was saying something about the things that as a government, Ghanaians are expecting from the president the next 4 years. The things he started, the things he's yet to do, and the things maybe they've done already. I spoke about the free senior high school, the one district, one factory, the one village, one dam. What else? The construction of roads. Don't forget that the president in 2019 said 2020 was the year of roads. But unfortunately, COVID came in, so we're a bit crippled as to the financing of the roads and all these things, because the same money was supposed to be used to cater for the fight of COVID and all these kind of things. So that one is a different thing altogether. Now, all these things are there, and Ghanaians are expecting the government to do it. Now, let's come to our needs as a people. What do we need? Do we need movies? Do we need movies? Do we need roads, or we need schools? Which one comes first? So priority comes in as to what the people need. Now, if you look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, if you do economics, you and I know we have the basic needs, the secondary needs, the tertiary needs, and all these things. What are the basic needs? The basic needs, you're talking about food to eat, where to lay your head. That is infrastructure. You know, you're talking about clothes to wear. You're talking about quality healthcare. You're talking about good transportation system, how to, move in and out of your area so that you can transact your business and all these kind of things. So where do we place the creative arts when it comes to hierarchy of needs, especially in a community like Ghana? We are at the bottom, the last corner. Now, there is also another school of thought that also believes that we follow some of these things because we don't understand the place of the creative arts in our socio-economic development. If we do, we would accept the fact that you can only have a road being constructed after it has been designed. And the design is part of creative arts. Architects design buildings for governments to construct the hospitals and the schools and all these kind of things. So it's part of creative arts. And do you know that we have music for health? There are songs that when you are ill, not every ailment needs medication or needs medicine for you to take. Some songs are used as medicines to heal. When you get into yoga and all these kind of things, I know you know a lot. So all these things are there. I remember when I used to work at the National Theatre, National Dance Company. Sometimes when you get sick, Niate will tell you don't need to go to the hospital. There are some dance movements that is meant for curing you of the very thing you are complaining of. So if as a people we understand that we can use dance, we can use music to heal people, or if people are happy because they listen to songs, you know, if you listen to songs that touches your heart, it either makes you sad, makes you happy, makes you think deep, and all these things. If we understand all these things, we would position creative arts as part of our daily system. Let's use medicine alone. Do you know that if people are eased of their stress, a lot of the diseases that goes to the hospital that we spend a lot buying drugs for them wouldn't go? But do we understand that system? If we do, then we will pay attention to creative arts because it is part of our socio-economic.
I have a very important question to ask. I'll pick Mr. Logic's mind on this, what you're saying as well, and then I can put the question to the two of you. But that's if you don't mind me asking. Logic, if you also should share your expectations and if it's achievable.
Yeah, for me, good morning, Jay.
Yes, good morning.
I really don't have expectations. I have requests because sometimes what you expect won't happen. Yeah, that's how it has been. You propose, they dispose. It has been like that for the past how many years?
You propose then
they disposed. You understand? So I don't have expectations.
Mr. Logic.
Yes. So I look at this whole thing differently, and it is very sad the way even our own people, the ones that we are with in the industry, they don't even know how to help us. Our leadership don't even know our problems. Because if you want to empower the people or you want to help the people, you ask the people to unite. Because if you have 1,000 people asking for the same help and they are coming individually, I mean, you cannot help all of them individually. You ask them to come in groups, and then you look for leadership of the group. You extend the help to the leadership to trickle down to the members. You understand? So I remember that we were asked to put ourselves in groups, which we've done. But then, if you go into the creative arts, there are some groups that to me makes no sense. They are irrelevant groups that should break off and join other major ones, so that the help becomes very easy. We have so many groups, this and this association, this and this writers, this and this. Look, bro, about thousands of them. And these groups, none of them is working to achieve an aim for the members. They are groups who are looking for help for themselves, for individually. So the last time we met the minister, she said that there was a time where they were about to disburse the first creative arts, I think the 50 million thing. The minister asked her, what are the modalities you guys suggest that we use? Jay, people will sit down there, leaders of the groups will say that. Some will say, I have a budget of 2 billion for a movie that I want to do. I, the leader, want to do. So the supposed amount that you are giving us, it will not help my budget. So it's not enough. Forgetting that they have members who need just 5,000 Ghana cedis. So I see this whole thing that if we are not careful, we'll come back here the next 4 years.
You've seen the same.
And still be saying the same thing. Jay, I'm telling you, because I see the leadership. I don't see the leadership. And I'm saying this because I'm just throwing my personal opinion. I don't care who will be hurt. Because do you know how long I've been concerned about people who were hurt by my word? And they don't care about how I feel. So I don't care who is hurting, because we have follow. We don't see the head and tail. So I'm saying that there is a leadership. There is a council. Me, I only believe in the council. And the council also believes in groupings. They say form groups. So when the council says that form groups, I form group. When they say we should meet here, I go and meet there, hoping that there will be a change. So me, I'm not expecting the president to do anything for me. I'm expecting the leadership to know what we need. Because if you sit down here and expect the president, I cannot go to Nanado at the Jubilee House as Mr. Logic. They will ask you, who are your leaders? You see, don't we understand that governance has always been about leadership, groupings, and associations, structures. They will ask you, who are your leaders? No, regardless how many you are, who are your leaders? So the problem is, who are our leaders? I know my council leader. Mark is our president. I know him. The rest of the people are all leaders of other various associations. The first man you spoke with, look, this is how they spoke. What's his name again?
James.
James have been speaking like this for how many years now? Nothing changes. Nothing changes. Daddy Bosco also streamlined some of the problems, and he categorized the artists into underground, and then what's other strata, and then
the mainstream.
Apex.
Yeah,
fine. For me, I don't see anything called underground, because 4 years ago, Kwame Eugene was an underground considered. Today, he's the artist of the year. There is nothing like underground. The only thing we have is rise. We need talent, rising artists. Everybody is trying. Nobody is underground. But it's the categorization of the arts is making us not be able to understand the agendas that we all have. So me, what I'm saying is that as I sit down here, Jay, I don't expect nothing. Even all the things that I expect from MPP, as the theaters, I've removed all from my mind. No, seriously, I'm speaking with a lot of pain. Mm-hmm. I have removed if you like, Nadu shouldn't do the theaters. I don't care. I don't care, because look, I won't be shocked. I won't be shocked if leadership don't wake up and push for the theaters. They won't be built. If the leadership don't wake up, because Nadu is not going to speak to logic or speak to Akwesianes. He will speak to leadership. He will not speak to individuals. So I'm not going to sit down here and be expecting Nadu to build a theater for me, and you ask, what do you expect? And it's like you being asked, it's like Santa Claus. What do you expect in Christmas? I want Christmas tree and all those things. It's in your mind. Is your father ready to buy your Christmas tree, even though you want it? So you blame your parents if you don't have a Christmas tree. So I'm saying that the leadership is
good analysis.
Yes, the leadership is what I'm looking at. If anything doesn't happen, if the Nadu don't build, if the theaters are not built by the fourth term, I will not blame MPP. I will not blame the Minister of Art. I will not blame anybody who is not directly connected to the sector. I will blame the leadership of the arts, and that I don't want to do, because I know that Mark has been calling. I'm coming on. When I speak this, I'm done. I'm not speaking again. I know that Mark has an agenda to achieve the studio and then the theaters. It's an agenda he's working on, and I'm only praying that the top government, states, helps him to achieve that agenda. Because if the theaters are not built, if the studios are not built, we will all be blaming Mark. I'm saying this here now. So if government is listening, they should understand the position where they put Mark, not even the Minister of Art, because she will have excuses upon excuses to tell you the number of meetings they have, reasons why they cannot even talk to you. So I'm saying that if the theaters are not built, if the studios, all the expectations that we have as creative people, if they don't happen, it's Mark will be blaming now.
Because he's also an industry person.
Yes, and he is our father. He is our leader. He is our. I don't. All the other people, I don't really think about it. Because anytime we say creative, they say Kumante. We are all following Kumante. So I'm saying that government should know, MPP top hierarchy should know that if the theaters and the studios and all these things fail, it's Mark will be blaming, and then after blaming Mark, we'll be coming to them. So they shouldn't put Mark in a corner where we will say that he's incompetent. He didn't do nothing. Because he's in a very tight condition. I'm telling you, see, Jay, let me land by saying this.
Yeah.
We had a meeting just a few days, and the whole membership is looking at Mark. The whole blame. Mark. We are all saying Mark. Mark is not the president. You understand? So me, I don't have any expectation to sit down and say that I expect theaters like a child. I'm daydreaming. I'm saying that if I don't see the theaters and the studios built, I will blame Mark.
Empowerment of the leadership.
Yes, they have to. I was coming to that. Government should know that they have put Mark in a very tight corner, and most creative people followed government because of the advocacy of Mark. Because people have party colors. Mm-hmm. You understand? I can sit down here and say MPP and I go and vote NDC. Most creative people couldn't speak because of Mark. I'm saying this white and blue. I'm saying it outright. Most creative people voted for MPP because of Mark. I am telling you the truth. Because of his leadership and his influence. We couldn't speak our minds because of Mark. So
he commands some level
of
respect.
So I'm telling government that they have put Mark in a tight condition. They should make sure the theaters are all built.
Heavy. Where it's coming from? let me get Christian's on this one.
I think that sometimes we just have to speak the truth.
Honestly, I side.
I mean, you can relate very well.
Yeah, I can relate.
What Mr. Logic is saying, and it makes a lot of sense, because you see, the expectation that we all have can only be given by government. A figure has been put into position as a president of the creative arts. He doesn't have budget. He's driving his personal car to work. He buys his own fuel. The office doesn't have budget to pay salaries of workers. I mean, if you look at creative art office, how many people are working there? 4 or 3. Mention them. It's Mark, Jan Kruma, Bibi Bright, and then Frankie 5. 4 people. Now, plus with one reception that I see in the office. You ask yourself, our whole nation, creative art office, can 4 people be able to do this work of this magnitude? So it means that we have to start making employment. We have to start forming committees. We need to start forming coordinators, grants coordinators, research and field officers for them to work. We need to have IT persons working for the office. We need to have a whole lot of administrative setup that we need to have to be able to build. It is through then that Mark's office will be function strongly. The operation. Yes. That is how it will work, so that you will see things happening. Then through there, the governance of the creative arts in terms of the board, the Creative Art Council, that can be constituted to allow operations to work. And we all work. I'm a CEO of my company, and we know the governance, the structure of a council. We know the structure of an institution. So the job, as we see, it is not bread and butter situation or somebody sitting and drinking coffee. It's an urgent situation that we have in our hands. And if there's any important thing for us to achieve, if there's anything that we can achieve for the next 4 years, most of this very, very important administrative setup must be done. This administrative setup must be done. I mean, if you go to GTA, look at because Edgeman is functioning, because this setup we are discussing is available at GTA. It's available. He's got his council, his board, he's got his administrative workers, he's got his tour directors, he's got his operational director, he's got all the structures that makes an office work. Given to him. It has been given to him. He's got budget, he's working. Everything is functioning. But when you come to the creative art, there's so much of dysfunctional activity ongoing, because the system, what will allow the whole thing work is not feasible, and it's making the key image there always looks a bit negative in the eyes of his people, because he's one person, and if government doesn't resource him, he will then the people will put blame on him as he is not competent to possibly even lead us. And so, if you ask me about my expectation is that government should resource creative art heavily. Yes. As we speak. It should
start with the passage of the law.
It is. And you see, and the whole thing boils on the passage of the Creative Art Bill.
Yeah.
To allow the Creative Art Fund to be established. Because I said that as some if the Creative Art Bill is not passed, and the fund is not established for us to see. And even with the fund, from where we are now, it's important to begin opening stakeholder discussions. Yes. About how much money stakeholders need to even put into account. Because if you listen to Logic's submission about people mentioning 2 billion for a movie and 300,000, our industry is very expensive. It's not expensive. It's not an industry you can put 1 million Ghana cedis and go home and go and rest. It's not an industry you can put 2 million Ghana cedis and ask for board to go and do feasibility studies. We'll do it only. It requires a lot of funding. So we need to even open our lungs up for more blood to flow through by contacting other international agencies and bodies.
I was coming to that point.
Other international, because it's not.
If the bill is passed,
it will not only be. I'm coming, Director General. It will not only be from government even putting money into the fund. We need to begin now making plugins for international bodies, fund organizations, and what have you to begin contributing. But that will only become possible if the fund is established and people know that genuinely, if we put this money here, the money is not going to go into somebody's private pocket. It is going for a cause. So these are relevant details. And like I told you here, that where we find ourselves and credibility at stake, Jay, it will be difficult for us to come here 2024 or 23
and come and discuss,
and then
problems.
we are here talking about creative art bill. Marco Krekumante will not have the locus.
I'm telling
he
you,
will not have. He will not even have. He
let me
will
give
not
you a
even
chance
step
to
here to
also-
come and discuss creative art bill.
Let me
See,
give you-
Krekumante cannot come here in the next
Yes.
4 years again and come and talk about theater.
Mr. Hagla won't
That
allow
we are
him.
now securing land. Or we are
Let me
now
give you a
securing
chance
this.
also
He
to
will
wrap
not
up
even
for
have
me.
the locus because as we speak, he is mandated to execute. Where we sit now is only about execution.
Execution.
He doesn't have a choice. He cannot even say anything. He cannot even blame government. So
Like
if you
Logic
Yeah,
said, it's
and
a tight
it's-
spot.
it's-
if he will even go to
a
Antoine,
tight corner.
if he will go to
He
Antoine
has to
and force
work out.
government to release money,
Malcolm,
he has to do
please
it.
hold on a second.
He has
Malcolm
to
is
do it.
giving
it's
you.
incumbent upon him to
on him to
deliver.
do that.
He
Hold on.
cannot say he cannot have.
Hold on for me for a second.
very
Give a
seriously.
second. A second. Malcolm is giving you the chance up to 50% discount on thousands of items for this month of December. So go to any Malcolm shop nationwide for your Xmax shopping. Terms and conditions apply. Malcolm West Santa shops. Let me give you all just 30 seconds to wrap up with me.
Wrapping up, what I want to say
Someone
is,
says, tell me to face facts and stop being political on the issue
I'm not
of
being
gov-
political. What I'm trying to say is that let's look at what we need as a people. If we look at what we need as a people, as a society, creative arts comes last. Unless we bring it into our social development system, then we will know that creative arts is creating jobs. It is helping to heal people. It is helping to let people feel secured and sound in their mind.
China, technology.
they are doing it.
India, technology. Maybe which other country again? When it comes to Ghana,
The DJ Black is here, so let me also take my 30
But
seconds.
before you come in, let me say
my
that.
30
Let me say
seconds,
that the MPP government should thank somebody like Okrekumante, should bless God or thank God that somebody like Okrekumante happened to be with them, because it looks as if Okreku's, his fame,
He has sealed so
the
many
respect
pressure.
people have
He
for
has
him in
sealed
the
them.
industry has made people swallow what
See,
they want to
Jay,
say.
30 seconds, please.
My 30 seconds. It's a continuity of what Kumi said.
Yeah.
I am an MPP man. I'm not sure any NDC creative person voted for MPP. I'm not sure that any NDC creative person voted for MPP. So I'm telling MPP that 80% of creative persons voted MPP because of Mark. Because of Mark. And others also has swallowed a lot of pain because of Mark. We know if we talk. We have to give all our all. We are supporting with our all. So please, now that they've got victory, they should make sure that all the proposals that Mark has pushed through for the creative arts, they should give him audience. We don't want them to talk to us direct because they will not. We have a leader. They should give Mark the audience and make sure that the agenda is fulfilled. Else 4 years from now,
it'll be a different conversation.
we will not swallow the pill again. We'll go vomit him, whether Mark or no Mark. I'm saying it straight. They have put him in a corner. They have to make sure that his proposals are met. They should give him audience because we are all following because of Mark and the love and the policies of the party. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much,
Thank you as well.
Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning, yes.
On the creative arts.
Amen. Amen.
You can follow me on Questioners Official live on Instagram.
Amen. All right. What time?
This is Hitz.
It's up and back here tomorrow. Thank you very much. DJ Black comes up next with Music Box.